Hello everyone, welcome! It's time for the Turtlecast. Welcome, fellow vault dwellers. How is everyone doing this update? From Tuesday it did drop. And I do plan to drop tonight for everyone because I think it's important. A bug update video, so know your bugs for the latest season. There is quite a bunch of them and some of them really annoying, so we need to try as much as we can to dodge them. If you did find out some bugs, let me know in the chat. Maybe it's not yet on my list. And or if you know a workarounds for annoying bugs of today, let us know too. So there is a lot. I will try to compile it in one video so everyone is aware. How long will it take until they will get fixed? That's always a mystery, and the best shot we always have a hotfix or otherwise mid-season patch, which is about 3 to 4 weeks on average from the patch. And welcome in the chat, Ryan, Michael, Monkey Nuts, Engineer, Michaela, Adefion Jack, Visric, Mail, Spiteful Angel, RHPS, Angry Scotsman, Matthew Davers, Cookie Crisp, Alray, Aluful, SPQR, Saradaker, Semmelch, Chessus for you, Steve Martin, Cooper Howard, Jim Ray, Crazy, Khalid B, Randy B, Greg Baba, Charles Kamba, Nautical Stew, The Vivid, Kiwi, DXG, Jeremy, aka Red Set Man, DXG, welcome. That's lots of names. Lots of you are here so early. I will probably take another look on the patch notes as we'll be discussing some of the things that are currently happening. Where do I have the patch notes? Let's see if there was anything new on follow.com outside of the patch notes. I'm not sure, I didn't check yet. No, the last thing is Camp Revamp Contest Extravaganza. So that was already announced earlier. So the content about camp stuff, we already know it is every month. The patch notes, full combat changes, we can take a look in a moment. In case you missed some of those changes. They either good for you or bad for you, depending what your build was before the patch. Whatever your build is, most likely needs adjustments. So far, I was able to update the heavy gunner, so that's on the channel. The bug video will be released tonight, and I will try as early as I can update the stealth commando, which is now Elder's Mark build. In other words, like each build has its main weapon that performs the best, that will be featured on the thumbnail and in the build as a main weapon, but more weapons will fit. Not always there is one main. It helps with a ghoul build. Unfortunately, ghoul builds will be updated later after I'm done with all human builds, but you can take inspiration from human builds. All the difference between ghoul builds and human builds, ghoul has more perks to choose from, so even harder to choose the best ones. You could really play almost exact copy of the human build on the ghoul, to be absolutely honest, with exception of a handful of perks under endurance that are human only, but can easily be replaced with something cool that ghoul only is available. And Jeremy with a special member message is saying, looking forward to building your experience heavy gunner build tonight. You're welcome. And yeah, experience heavy gunner, that's the one build that I was able to upload before the update dropped, but it's up to date. So luckily nothing changed on the day of the update. So both builds, the experience farming build for the raid and full heavy gunner build are up to date for today. Yeah, up to date, obviously, as for today. Hello, everyone else joining us. Bethesda has done it again. Yeah, the bugs are incorporated to ecosystem of Bethesda games. They must be there. That's why we quite often call them unintended features of the game. But I'll be using bug in the thumbnails, as otherwise I am getting crazy outrage for calling it features. I was never expecting that this will be so controversial, but it seems to be. So I will still call it features when I'm talking about it, but on thumbnails and titles I'll be using bug. Oh, chess is for you. Thank you a lot for 20 bucks. Appreciate that. And messages, any helpful bugs like pickaxe scrapping? Not this type of a bugs, no. Stat lock that is like double-edged sword. It's negative and positive in the same time, depends what you do. But yeah, unfortunately, no handy bugs like scrapping axes. Peppa Shaker is absolutely amazing now, yes. Yes, I did try it. It's amazing. It's not as powerful as Gauss Mini, but it is amazing. It's one of the top heavy guns. And advantage, yeah, if you want to use Bullet Storm, but you like to keep switching weapons nevertheless, Peppa Shaker is the one that gets full stacks super fast. You can play Heavy Gunner without power armor. Like, there's no requirement to have power armor anymore. The only perk that is tied to power armor is Heavy Gun's accuracy, so not much you are losing if you choose to play without. Oh, you did Radiation Rumble and only 10 ghouls total spawned? Okay, that's interesting. Overloaded servers, most likely. Black powder weapons damage was increased. The downside is the range was reduced. Peppa Shaker may be very much better now than Gatling Plasma. Gatling Plasma was slightly nerfed, and Peppa Shaker was significantly buffed, so it is possible. Will I do all-rounder? All-rounder, so something like my lazy build, carry weight build, lazy hoarder. That was all-rounder. Almost every build you can use multiple weapons. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as full all-rounder unless you just give up on most of the damage mechanics. The reason is you have three mechanics that are almost not compatible with each other. Sometimes they overlap a little bit. So you have Bullet Storm, then you have Onslaught, and then you have Reverse Onslaught. So those are the three main sources of the damage. Of course, Reverse Onslaught cannot be really combined with Bullet Storm. Regular Onslaught can be combined with Bullet Storm, but only on very limited weapons. And then there are choices like between Bullet Storm and Onslaught. For example, Quad Elder's Mark, you will go with Bullet Storm, but not Onslaught, as Onslaught will not fit if you want Stealth. So therefore, yeah, choices. And if you put Stealth, then there is no room for Onslaught, so that's 4 options actually. 2 versions of Onslaught, Stealth, and now Bullet Storms. You cannot combine it all together. It's just physically not possible, as you cannot put all those perks together. There is no room. Spiteful Angel, thank you a lot for 20 bucks, and the message is, appreciate you doing the heavy gunner build first. Now I can go home after work. I work on my build again. Thank you very much, Spiteful Angel, and yeah, I hope you will enjoy it. It's fun to play heavy gunner. It's really good. Just be careful not to shoot this Gauss minigun too close to yourself like I did. Gauss Mini is number 1 for heavy. Explosive mod is generally good for weapons, almost all of them, but keep in mind it's not working the same on every enemy, and there is one enemy that is immune to explosions, which is Guardian in the raid. So explosive effect is doing nothing there. For most enemies it is helping. And Gatling minigun, like Gauss, not Gatling, Gauss minigun have this special combination of explosive. That's why I'm using it on one. It has built-in explosions, and then you can add with this extra explosive, you add it together, and then you boost it by demolition expert way, and you are achieving a really high damage of your explosions that basically takes down enemies, regular ones, even if you miss the target, just the explosions themselves clear out hordes of mobs easily. But then there is a two-shot bag and pentabarrel. If you put that, you cut down your damage quite a bit. When I was investigating this two-shot bag and reading other people findings, it seems like whatever Bethesda did to address the problem with two-shot launchers, like a quick recap. I will talk a little bit about it in my bag video too, but a quick recap. Before this patch, if you had a two-shot launcher, how the math was working. First, from two-shot effect, there was 75% damage added on top of the weapon damage. And that was displayed on Pip-Boy. And then, for whatever reason, both projectiles were receiving the full damage. So you double that again after it all. So both projectiles were doing the full damage with 75% bonus, unlike what they're supposed to be doing. Like what two-shot's supposed to be doing is add a 75% bonus damage and split it then on half for two projectiles. What happened with this patch, they tried to fix that to work as intended, but something went wrong. So what it does now, it seems like, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks to be consensus at this moment. Two-shot adds 75% damage to the explosion and total weapon damage, which is as supposed to be, but then instead of cutting it on half, it cuts it on 4. So it divides by 4 instead of 2. So it like divides it twice as much as it's supposed to. And you are losing damage because of that, as it's only firing 2 projectiles, but it's calculating like it's supposed to be 4 projectiles. And that affects Gauss mini explosions, that affects all the launchers, that affects Gauss shotguns and explosive shotguns and everything else that has multiple projectiles and explosion attached to it. More damage from explosion, the worse it is for the weapon. So pinpointers, I have 2 Gauss miniguns, one with pinpointers, one with polished. Polished is generally better if you want to squeeze out extra damage from explosions. Pinpointers do not affect explosions. So that's the problem with two-shot currently. When it will be fixed, I don't know. It was reported, like most of the bugs present now were already reported during public test server, although there are some new bugs that were not present on public test server but recently pops up. So there is more bugs. Somehow amount of bugs exceeded my expectations, to be honest. I was thinking on the live release we'll get less bugs than on the latest public test server, but it went other way around. So we have a little bit more bugs than on the latest version of tests from the test server. A Gatling gun is awesome. Yes, snake eyes are the weak spot. The head is a weak spot too, but eye is like a double weak spot. Double the weak spot bonus on the eye. Head already comes with a weak spot bonus. Eye doubles that. A lot of people say it's the worst update, but it's not true. To be absolutely objective, there were worse updates in the past. So, bug-wise, there were worse bugs, way worse bugs. Some of them requiring a really fast hotfix that was released several days after the patch, just so people could play. So, we did experience way worse bugs if you go far enough in time. So, one of the worst bugs ever caused this channel to even exist, and it was the original raid eating entire inventory. Everything. Wiping out, including quest items. All gear. And it was, back then there was no legendary crafting. If your legendary gear was wiped out, Good luck farming for another year to get it back. And Alex with special message is saying, is the Elder's Mark the only top gun for the Commando now? I mean, it's the best gun for the Commando, not the only one, but there is always something best. So yeah, Elder's Mark is the best one for the Commando. There are other guns that are weaker than the Elder's Mark, but you can still use them. They're usable, not as good. Spiteful Angel, thank you a lot for donating 10 memberships. And who do I welcome? I welcome Curtis Brooks, Sam Leach, RIP, Billy KL2, Emma Macmillan, Coder, Tom, Mr. McPhilly, and Zero Life. Oh, and one more, Gunner Brian Olaf Stodder. Welcome and may the shell be with you. Huge thanks to Spiteful Angel. Auto Axe was nerfed, yes, the attack rate of Auto Axe and the chainsaw was reduced. They still can be used. At some point I will check them out, but I'm covering the range weapons first, the guns, more interested in those. Alright, let me jump now to answer your questions from Discord. Turtle Army Discord, Ask the Turtle section. Let me find it and do my best to answer your questions, as there is a bunch. There is some conversations going on there too, so that's more than just questions. But I will do my best. Where did I stop last time? I think here. Okay, there we go. And let me switch. Oh, Nautical Steel, a special message saying, hi Turtle, what are the pros and cons of 3-barrel versus penta-barrel on Gauss Mini? So 3-barrel, better range, better explosive damage, better accuracy. The penta-barrel, higher fire rate, but because of reduction to explosions, I don't like it, and higher fire rate, +2 projectiles, server issues. When server is not super responsive, it's losing damage. But assuming server is relatively smooth, penta-barrel can be used if you are like farming Guardian, as Guardian do not care about reduction in explosive damage. So Guardian is immune to those anyway, so maybe for the Guardian, penta can be used, and distance is not a problem there either. And Jules with a special message. Wow, Jules is already 52 months member. Saying, hope you are doing well, Mr. T. I am, thank you a lot, Jules, appreciate that. And now let's jump to Ask the Turtle section. Turtle Army Discord, wait. I think I switched to the black screen. There it is. First, why is max experience cap at 300k during double experience week? You can't benefit from it, stage 5 rate. I would be happy and do not complain about it. Previously, it was capped at, what was the previous cap? 20k for expeditions and so on. So we should be really happy that it's capped at 300k and not 20k anymore. Or there would be no experience from raid, basically. About why this exact number, I don't know. I would be for 420k as the cap. That would be way better number. Next, now that range is more important than ever, what's the current state of shotguns in the meta, not counting Peppa Shaker? Is it above overall, or will they perform even worse? So at high range, they will perform worse. In close to medium, they will perform better. For most part. Next, is anybody's scrap cursor going back all the way up when scrapping things? Yes, that's a bug. It takes forever to scrap certain things this way. It's only happening sometimes in some circumstances, so I forgot what is causing that. Someone was talking about it in one of the forums. I forgot the trigger for that. There is a trigger for that, so it's not always like that. I forgot what the trigger is. Hello, I was wondering if T65 or Union Power Armor was better, and do either of them have paint jobs that are pink and blue, as I like to match with my wife, just different color scheme. Thank you in advance. So the paint job for those armors, most of the paint job is universal and it's fully reskin, not just a paint. I don't remember everything. I did a video long in the past showcasing like 50 or so paints for power armor, so you can find that out. My power armor paints somewhere on the channel, but I don't remember them out of top of my head. There's too many. Next. Hello, I had a question regarding the changing perk cards. If the number of perk points for a card changes, for instance from 3 points to 1 point, do you gain level ups equal to the number that change, basically reimbursing you for the level ups that you spend to rank up that card? You are getting bonus cards that you can scrap. So that if you have a perk card with 3 ranks, fully ranked, that becomes 1 rank with 1 point instead of 3, do you gain back the 2 that were essentially taken away? You are getting copies of the card, yes. I ask because I am not yet a full endgame player, so I don't have a lot of level ups sitting around with all the changes. I have been trying to play catch up, and so I'm literally going level by level. Yeah, you good. Don't need to worry about that. You're getting copies. Dropping your fusion cores and then picking them up again fixes this for some reason. Oh, the scrapping list. Okay, thank you. That's a useful tip. I didn't do a video about this one. Dropping and picking up fusion cores was for a different problem, but if that works here, that would be good too. Okay, that's discussion, not question. What my expectations for winter update? Yo, crossplay. Crossplay would be amazing if that would happen. A working trading system and universal stash books. Okay, my expectations are different. Like the crossplay I would take, but my expectations, map expansion, and of course with new questline, and another raid. The raid 2.0, the harder one that they promised. We'll see if I'm right. Can you test damage with and without Bulletstorm? I think they don't work. I have same damage with Bulletstorm or without Bulletstorm. The cards may be bugging out. Maybe related to the stat log. Mine is working, at least after I load the build, freshly equipped. I will see if that can bug out too. This working, it may be related to per card bug, connected somehow with stat log bug. It's possible. Can you do a video on a human lazy heavy gunner with best power armor, best weapon, and all the best mods and legendary mods for both? And could it tackle the new Raid Guardian solo? Basically an updated version of your last video on this, thanks Turtle. At some point I will get there, yes. Can you do a video on apparels that would make my character cute? Apparel doesn't make your character cute. Your character is either cute or is not. Hi Turtle. My cremator is terrible now. Is there a way to make it work again in VATS and give it the same damage as before? I plan to do more tests about the cremator. I'm afraid it may be some problem with it being multi-projectile. Maybe we'll need to switch to singular projectile if two-shot bug is affecting it too heavily. Like I call it two-shot bug, but it's multi-projectile bug. So 4 projectiles, 8 projectiles, it's all affected. Next, I have a weapon idea to deal with the Raid Stage 2 drill defense of the updated Mole Tank Miners. It's a Tesla rifle, semi-automatic, furious, swift electricians. The range on electrician is amazing, so at any time I can pulse all visible enemies. Yeah, that could work. The reason for semi-auto is the weapon durability. Yeah, that can work. Electricians to pulse all. What would be the best 2-star for this specific application? It will be crippling, explosive, or rapid. I mean, rapid for semi, it probably doesn't do much. Explosive doesn't work on Tesla. Crippling does very little on Tesla because it's energy damage, and for some reason that doesn't cripple very well. So I don't really know what 2nd star will be good. I'm guessing doesn't matter much. Yeah, cargo train build is coming too at some point too. Is it just me, or you don't get a message that your camp spot is occupied when you join a ward? Yeah, I noticed that too. I found myself a couple of times in an active camp that could not be placed, and played like that, all refrigerated food spoiled. Also, what is the difference between calibrated and vicious receiver after the update? And why choose one over the other before calibrated was 100%, vicious was 50, extra something, can't remember. I think there's now not much difference. You know, the AI is not so good in reworking all the stats. I don't think employees had time to check every single change that AI did. I'm guessing that was AI who read all the numbers. I cannot see a person going over 1,000 different modes, switching that separately. Is agility card action boy gear affects the conductor? No. Also, will it affect the instant or overtime effect or both? I'm not sure what second part means, but basically all action point regeneration and so on, I have video explaining how that works. So that could help you. But first part is no. Next one. I wanna thank you for your experience, Grinder Raider build. After we stopped raiding, after reaching rank 68 on Tuesday, I have played with my friends for another 2 days. Finally, yesterday, after another 3 hours of raiding, 2 days for 2 days for hour and a half, I have reached rank 100 on scoreboard. Congratulations, Daniel. Hard grind gave you quick victory. Next, hi Turtle. After the latest update, if we just use critical savvy, no limit breaking or lucky hit, what is the minimum luck needed to crit every third shot? 15 plus. It cannot be 14.5. Like the game rounds it up. So to be safe, if your Pip-Boy shows 16. Also, thank you for your build guides with the ongoing changes. I like your heavy gunner build and look forward to your commando build. And next one. 80. Thanks for all you do. Is there a way for all of us to report how two-shot explosive and things like the pentabar are broken? And I have noticed when using creeper kits on locked items, they have been unlocking on PC. Oh, I didn't check that. That's bad. Okay. Bug reporting is through official Bethesda Game Studio server. They accept bug reports there, and I always report there, and some other people report there, so two-shot was reported, and a lot of other bugs were reported already during the public test server, and reported on live now too as soon as the patch dropped. I saw someone reporting that. Can you do a Holy Fire updated build? I could, but I don't plan as for now because Holy Fire lost too much damage, so I'm not really using it anymore. Unless I find the use case that will make it shine again, but it lost so much damage compared to other options. Okay, let me, before I carry on, add this bug about unlocking items. I didn't check that, but that's bad. Items unlocking while repaired. Yeah, that's not very good. And, oh, maybe this one is important as well. That's the other one I'm supposed to note. Camp not placed, no message. I experienced that once too, but luckily for me, I was at my camp when I log out. So when I log in, there was no message, and I was looking around myself, and I was like, where is my camp? It's supposed to be here, and it wasn't. And there was no message. So that's important. If you found any other critical bugs, let me know. Okay, that's as the territory section done. Back to you in the chat. Okay, so this scrapping fix I need to test if I just drop all fusion cores and pick them up, if that's gonna fix it. So my list for bugs is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 positions so far. I don't know if I didn't miss any. Of course, we are talking only about important bugs, not small graphical glitches or anything like that. I don't particularly myself care too much if there is the misalignment, missing light, or if I enter Westec and it's super weirdly bright sometimes. Those bugs I am not worried about, only the ones affecting the gameplay. You did 10 Enclave events and no Enclave mods. By the way, did anyone manage to drop Enclave mod from the event? I didn't myself, and I'm doing them too. It was promised that they are added with 10% drop chance, so someone's supposed to have them by now. If there is 10% drop chance, it's not like winning a lottery. 10% is quite high. If we all do consistently Enclave events, we're supposed to have some by now. Anyone in the chat, let me know, did you get at least one single Enclave mod from Enclave event? I'm waiting. Tell me in the chat, did you get at least one from Enclave event? Not vendors, we're not talking vendors, Enclave events and mod boxes. Oh, we already have people that did get it. Okay, so some people saying no, but there's one person that got 2 from 5 events. Okay, so they are stealing our luck, guys. They are stealing our luck. They getting all the mods and that we are. Unless there is some bug affecting me that those mods do not drop for me. Is it possible? Maybe, I don't know. I will keep trying. If I do like 100 events, I will be still at 0, then that's statistically impossible with 10% drop chance. The freezer always needs to be placed. If your freezer is not placed, your camp cannot be spawned. Your food will spoil. It must be placed. So some people did certainly get Enclave Plasma mod, so that's a good news. It's all Enclave events supposedly now, not only Drop Connection. All Enclave events. So the gun itself is easy to find. You can buy the gun from Enclave Bunker. So you can just buy it with caps. So that's easy. The problem is mods for it. You need box mods. You cannot learn them. So that's the tough part. The gun itself is easy. You just buy it from Enclave Bunker. Yes, the 4-star mods. Oh, new mods. No. There is no new mods. The new 4-star mods that you can see in the workbench already, that they are added day by accident. Those are coming with the next raid. So they're not live yet. It was confirmed that it's not part of this patch on the public test server, as we were asking already. But that's the next raid rewards. And those are not final, so keep that in mind. We can see those descriptions of those 4-star legendaries, the new ones, but those are not final, so that can still change. They're working on them. That was confirmed, they're working on them, not a final product, and not releasing until second raid. There is a new event, that's a seasonal event for Halloween. That's coming around Halloween, not now. Concentrated fire does work, but differently now. I explained that in my VATS changes video. If you go on my channel, I know there is a lot of video, but all recent. So related to this patch, I was explaining the changes coming to VATS like last week, a week ago. I did a full video about it, explaining everything like criticals, VATS hit chances, concentrated fire, and other perk interactions. The VATS received a full rework. So what you remember from the past, it no longer applies. Oh, Cookie Crisp, thank you a lot for $5. Appreciate that. You rule message. Thank you a lot, Cookie Crisp. The potential 4-star mods you can see when you go under the workbench, the Tinker's workbench, crafting 4-star mod boxes and toggle unlockable. So they will show as possible to unlock, but you cannot unlock them yet. Standard ammo capacity of regular rifles is 20, yes. Oh, the weapon didn't, like, okay. Some people think that a lot of weapons lost the damage. Actually, most of the weapons did receive more damage than before. But if you are testing those weapons on something like Behemoth, Milo Queen, Scourge Beasts, those enemies, those big enemies were reclassified as a mini bosses. Therefore, they significantly tougher now. And that's intended. So not weapon losing damage, but mini bosses got tougher. Chess is for you. Thank you a lot for donating 5 memberships, and I welcome Jay, Dextra, Stone Weasel, Michael Turner, and Mindful. Welcome, and may the shell be with you. Thank you a lot, Chess is for you. If you don't have Prime for Gauss Mini or you don't want to use it, they use Tesla Dynamo, yes. Tesla Dynamo and 3-barrel. Best if you don't have Prime or you don't want to use Prime. Just keep in mind that damage numbers are lying, so Tesla Dynamo is not doing more damage than Prime, even though the Pip-Boy is trying to convince you that it does. They did change Nuka grenades, increase the cost, and reduce the damage. They don't want us to use them. They don't want us to use them at all. Any more questions or bugs to report? Is there a new meter for Gauss Mini? I don't know what you mean by new meter. It has a heat-up mechanic now, the same as Volt 63 carbine. So longer you fire, the more damage it does. Gauss Mini received a full rework. Oh, the Iron Fist received a solid buff, and now it's combined with a choo-choo train. So at some point I will go to more fun off-meta builds, like the cargo train build. That's coming, but I need to cover the meta ones first. Oh, what would Bunny do? Thank you a lot for €249, and the message is, Hi AT, my stash was over limit after update. How? So my stash did that too, and I know how. They increased drastically the weight of some modifications for the weapons. So now in order to stash your weapons, you will need to switch all mods to default, as fully modded weapon can be like more than twice as heavy as unmodded one with the changes they did to mods. It's adding weight like crazy. Like, I don't know why they would do that. That's the one change I completely do not understand. What kind of purpose they achieved by making our weapons heavier? What did that achieve? Come on, what's balance of what? Of holding a weapon in power armor so you don't flip over? I don't know. Why was drained so fast now? Because most weapons have went up in AP cost. Jules, thank you a lot for 10 pounds. Appreciate that. And there is thank you emoji. Thank you a lot, Jules. Thank you. Am I doing top 5 weapons anytime soon? I already have top 3 weapons on the channel. I don't know what I would add for spot 4 and 5. There's actually top 1 weapons and there are 3 weapons on first spot, depend on circumstances. So this video is already up, so you can find it on the channel if you need top weapons and see how they perform. Oh, AP back is back too. You are taking more damage as some enemies have been buffed. So that's probably why you are taking more damage. They do more damage, so that's why you are taking more damage. You need to be more tanky to counter that. On Gauss Mini, Hitmans, or Explosive? Depend what you plan to use it. Hitmans would make sense if you are fighting Guardian without VATS. And Explosive for everything else, like regular stuff and daily driving. Downside of Explosive, you kill yourself much faster if you are firing too close to yourself. Yes, railway rifle count as rifle, so you can use it with Sans and Sansparilla or Ballistic Bok. Oh, Spiteful Angel, thank you a lot for another 10 bucks, appreciate that. The message is, Angry Turtle is still the GOAT. Thank you a lot, Spiteful Angel, appreciate the sentiment. Where are the rest of caravan vendors? In Todd Howard's pocket, and he's refusing to release them. Peppa Shaker is a really good choice, most likely a second heavy gun to pick. Science Perk does work with Gauss Mini if you are using Tesla Dynamo. Does not affect the Prime mod, and Prime mod is superior damage. So the answer is yes and no, depend on what you are using on it. Yes, Ultrasight ammo still drops and as contextual ammo. They did nerf most of the options for Enclave Plasma, with exception to the Flamer. Flamer is still awesome, but other options, they did receive a hit. Alright, so now we'll be heading for the member hangout, as I need to do my dailies, do some like final confirmations for the bugs that I want to record a video about. I have mostly all information gathered for that. So it should be tonight. The video should drop tonight, so I don't know how I should title it. Season 22, Know Your Bugs? Is that a good title? Season 22, Know Your Bugs? Unintended features? Unintended features of latest patch? I don't know. Something about bugs for sure, you will find it. And that being said, we are heading for a member hangout. If you are a member, join us there. If you are not a member, don't worry, we're streaming tomorrow evening and we'll be grinding. We'll be grinding and most likely updating the commando build, as I don't think I'll be able to update it before the live stream. So on the live stream, we'll be updating it. So see you there. Turtle out for now. Bye!